So first of all, in this bootcamp, we are going to cover three big parts. The first part is we call that analytical engineer. The analytical engineer means, this data engineer focus on analytical purpose, which means, some companies, they have BI team, they have data warehouse, right? So they want to do regular or ad hoc data analysis based on the data from their sales, from their marketing, and so on. So these are the important technology now used in many companies. So for the first part, we are going to cover mostly on data warehouse. Okay, so data modeling, ETL, and so on. Of course, at the very beginning, in addition to the data analytical engineer, we are going to we're going to learn some basic things like Linux, shell script, Docker, and so on. But one more thing, Python and SQL. As data engineer, Python and SQL is a must skill you must have. And so for our bootcamp, we have some pre-bootcamp for you to prepare your SQL and Python. But in the real bootcamp, we won't cover any basic SQL and Python. Of course, we are going to have some advanced SQL and Python course in our bootcamp, but it's just a 1 or 2 lectures for that, to cover some advanced Python, especially for data engineer, and advanced SQL, especially for data warehousing, and so on. Okay, so we're going to cover, these fundamental things, and then we are going to cover, as I said, the data warehousing things like data connection, data ETL, modeling, and so on. And then we are going to build our pipeline, let's say use Airflow and AWS Lambda, and so on. And of course, during this study, we're going to learn two cloud services. One is AWS, Amazon website services. Another one is Microsoft Azure or Azure, so whatever it's called. Okay, so it's Microsoft stuff. So, and also we are going to cover some advanced, the first part is analytical engineering. The second part will be big data. Okay, so this page looks a little bit not in the right order, so we can come here. This is our previous schedule, okay, previous course schedule. So this will give you a better understanding the structure of this course. So first part, analytical engineer. You can see we're going to learn Linux, AWS, fundamentals, Docker, Python, data warehouse, SQL, and so on. And then we are going to finish a project. And also we are going to learn a little bit Metabase. The Metabase is a BI tool. It's unnecessary to know them in a deep level, but we need to know something about that because as data engineer in analytical engineering projects, is very likely we need to communicate with BI developers. So we need to know, at least we need to know how the BI tools generate reports so that we can communicate with BI developers well. Okay, so that's why we need to know some BI tools. So in this course, we're going to use Metabase. Of course, you can use Power BI or use Tableau. So which one, or even Click. So which one you like better, you can use that. Okay. Then we have we're going to have a transition for project. Okay, so I'm going to cover this later into our bootcamp portal bootcamp later. Okay, so and then we have 2 weeks breaks, and the second part is we call that phase 2. Is this will cover Microsoft Azure and big data. Okay, so this part mostly cover Azure and big data. So we are going to learn Spark for big data, and learn the Spark architecture, learn Spark syntax, and even use Spark to do some machine learning training. The reason why we learn machine learning, that's a similar reason to phase 1. We need to know how the machine learning running, because now it's very popular to use machine learning, right, in a company. And as a data engineer, you got a chance to collaborate with data scientists. Okay, so for data scientists, they when they running the machine learning model, you need to know which part, which data they are preferring. Okay, so we need to communicate them to prepare data for them, so that sometime even in small companies, small company, maybe you have some task to run the machine learning model, probably. Okay, and then we'll have another project, and this project will use Azure, will use big data, and use machine learning. Okay, part 3 is advanced data engineer. It's not limited to data lakehouse and not limited to lakehouse and the data streaming. Is included more than that. So let's say GitHub, we are going to link GitHub's CI/CD, Terraform. This type of things are more CI/CD stuff. All right, and then we're going to learn some NoSQL, DynamoDB, and we're going to learn web scraping with Elasticsearch, Airflow, which is pipeline and tool, and Kafka and Spark streaming for data streaming, lakehouse. Okay, and also a little bit about large language model for data engineer. Okay, and also data governance. So this is a part of, and these are the 3 parts in our bootcamp. Okay, so talk about this is the schedule for our bootcamp, and this will be I will show you how we're going to learn in our bootcamp. So first of all, we have a pre-bootcamp. Okay, so in the pre-bootcamp, you can see we prepare you SQL, Python, AWS, Docker, and so on. If you have no good foundation of SQL and Python, you need to come to pre-bootcamp to prepare SQL and Python first. These are the self-paced study, which means we have some videos for you and exercise for you. You need to self-learn these skills. We also have data also have a data fundamental course, which will teach you some basic skill of SQL and Python, and let's say Excel and Tableau for our registered students. It's for free for the registered students who register in the bootcamp. It's live, and it's well run regularly. Okay, so we have 2 ways to learn your SQL, to help you learn SQL and Python. First of all is this part. The second one is data fundamentals, but data fundamentals is not as complete as this one, because this is from level 1 to let's say to level 3, but maybe data fundamentals only for level 1. Okay. So of course we also have other courses in pre-bootcamp, but if you won't have time, so you can jump into our bootcamp directly. So what will bootcamp cover? So let's take a look at one of our previous bootcamp. You see, like what I said, so we have 3 phases. Phase 1, analytical engineer. Phase 2, big data. And phase 3, lakehouse and streaming. And it's beyond lakehouse and streaming, actually. So each phase, we are going to have a big project. Okay, we start for each phase, we start from a project. So first of all, let's take a look at this phase 1 project. So this project will stay in this phase until the end, which means all these courses we are learning will surround this project. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is our phase 1 project. I can make it bigger. So we are going to have 2 data sources, ingest data with error bytes, with AWS Lambda, and input into data warehouse, which we are going to learn Snowflake, and do data modeling, and do ETL with dbt, and output the reports into Metabase. So let's go back to take a look at this. Okay, so let's go back to take a look at this. We are going to learn Linux a little bit and AWS Foundation, because we are going to put many of this stuff, many of this tools on AWS server. Okay, Linux server. We need to use Linux to control them. And then Docker, we are going to use Docker to generate these applications. Then we're going to use Python, right? So especially we are going to use Python in Lambda. You see, Lambda, okay, here. And so after Python, close this. After Python, we are going to use error bytes, right? So you can see error bytes. Okay, so we're going to use error bytes and talk about talk about how we're going to ingest data. In the meantime, we are going to learn how to use Snowflake, which is a very important data warehouse tool in the current world. Okay, and then after data ingested, sorry, I close this. After data ingested into the data warehouse, we're going to learn what is data warehouse. Okay, so how to do a data model, how to do a ETL, okay, and how to, to transform the data from the original format or form into the tables, into the structure we want. This structure will support write data into Metabase to generate reports. Okay, so this is for data warehouse. Then we are going to, you see ETL and SQL in GTL. So we are going to learn some advanced SQL for ETL. Same thing. So we are going to learn some advanced Python for data engineer. Okay, only it's a supplementary course for Python. It's not the fundamental Python course. Okay, so the prerequisite is that you must know Python, then you can learn this. Okay, and then you must know SQL before you learn this. Okay, and then data modeling, Intel, dbt. Okay, so dbt is a very lovely tool we are now using in data warehousing. Okay, so it's very popular. Then data analysis with Metabase. Okay, 1 week is unnecessary to go deeper. So only 1 week is fair enough. Then students need to finish this project based on what they learn. Okay, and they need to submit their codes and give a presentation to our in front of other students. The reason why we need the presentation because we want students to understand the entire project and tell other students what they do and what they get from their experience. Of course, these projects definitely can be used as a portfolio project in your resume. Okay, of course, it's we are not only limited to this portfolio projects because we also have some mini projects. Let's say Python in cloud, Lambda, and so on. These mini projects have nothing related to this portfolio project. These mini projects are independent projects, which are maybe from an instructor's real work or from interview. We collect many company interviews, and so maybe this from interview, some let's say a round 2 code challenge or something. Okay, so let's say this mini project. So this is a Python, how to use Python. Okay, so then ingest data, and they set the sites this is the API, and you are going to set this. You need going to ingest these columns, and you're going to set the EC2 server, and yeah, so this is the steps you're going to have. Okay, and you also can put this mini project into your resume as well, because these are the very practical projects in real work. Okay, so similar to big data. Okay, so big data, we have projects like this. I'm sorry. Close this and open this. So you can see we use, in this project, we are going to use Azure. Okay, we use Azure Storage, we use Azure Data Factory, we use Azure Databricks. Okay, so we ingest data, use data lake, use Azure Databricks to process data, generate machine learning, and output the Azure, output the results and generate report in Azure Synapse. So I think in the future, soon, very soon, we are going to update this the framework of this project, because we are going to put more components into it. Okay, so this is a Azure project. So you can see we are using Azure, we use big data. So that's why in phase 2, we are going to teach Azure Data Factory, which is so important module in data engineer. If a company they use Azure, definitely you must know Azure Data Factory very well. Okay, and then big data. If this Azure Data Factory and big data Spark, these are the two most important part in this phase. Okay, then we are going to have the same project work and project presentation. Okay, phase 3 is once the data engineer, we are going to cover DataOps, which is a CI/CD and GitHub, and also we're going to cover NoSQL, because sometimes some companies they use NoSQL for different data sources. Okay, and our unstructured data sources. We're going to cover web scraping, Airflow for pipeline, data streaming with Kafka and Spark streaming, and Lakehouse, and AI and data governance. Okay, so these are the part of 3 parts in our data engineer, and our lecture time will be Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. It's Eastern time. Okay, and each Monday and Wednesday we have TA session for students to support their work. Each Saturday we have afternoon. So during the afternoon, we either finish a mini project or follow the instructors to finish some part of this portfolio project. Okay, so and regarding diploma, after you finish phase 1 and phase 2 project, you are going to get diploma. For phase 3 is bonus. Okay, it won't stop you get diploma. Also, we after this project, this program, these courses, you also going to have 6 months mentorship program. So during this 6 months, you will be a mentor who is in the data engineering field for years, and he or she will help you to prepare your resume, prepare your interview, even help you with your technical errors or problems when you are working on some exercise or project. He will he'll help you during this period. And also after this program, we have another additional program, which is real climb project. Sometimes this can be same package. So real climb project is very popular recently, because especially for people who just come to Canada or who don't have data engineer experience. So because in this real climb project, you will work as a data engineering consultant in a company, a consulting company, and all your work can be right as a work experience as a data engineer in your resume. And of course, you will have a chance to work in different projects. You can either, let's say, work for data warehouse, or for big data, or for data pipeline. So there is several projects in the real climb projects list, and you can choose. Okay, so that's all about this data engineering program. Let me check if there are any questions. We can talk. Okay, how are we going to enroll? So I think our assistant will send. You can come here to our website. You can talk to us. You make a phone call. Okay, put your email. Our sales will come to you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let me check the. Okay, if there is no questions, we can we can end this session. And every day we will have a lunch session to talk about the different topic about data engineering. Sometimes it's a kind of like a introduction about our program, or sometimes it's more practical. Let's say how I'm going to start your data journey, how I'm going to prepare your portfolio projects, and so on. So please following us, and keep watching our lunch sessions. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.